Hi dear friends and subscribers, welcome to Cricket Happenings, and in this particular Cricket Happening show, your host Ram along with you is going to look at the fourth one-day international between New Zealand and India, which ended in a New Zealand series win. It was a must-win game for India, but unfortunately that didn't happen, even though I would say the conditions really were something which India would have relished, because after making 278 with the ball definitely showing signs of turn, we had the spinners India had the spinners Ravichandran Ashwin and it was the other spinner Ravindra Jadeja. Even though they could manage some turn there, but still they couldn't really get it across New Zealand. And finally New Zealand actually won the series 3-1 with one more to go, which is a mere formality, which is coming at the Basin Reserve in Wellington. I'll be talking about that fourth one-day international, and then we'll also look at the second day's play in the first test match between Sri Lanka and Pakistan. Sri Lanka are absolutely on the ascendant, as they have already taken a 143-run lead, and the feature of the second day's play was Kaushal Silva, the opener's maiden test century, which was really waiting to come, because as you know he had impressed everybody in Pakistan, against Pakistan United Arab Emirates on his first entry there, and he played absolutely superbly. He couldn't get onto a century, but today he showed us, even though he rode his luck, but definitely it was his maiden test century, which was the feature of the second day's play. But first let's look at the fourth one-day international between New Zealand and India. And it was New Zealand and India. So that was the first match, and this was the first time that Mahendra Singh Dhoni, the Indian captain, actually won the toss in this. In fact, it was the first time that he won the winning the toss is something that Dhoni used to do, but he was always inserting New Zealand into bat. But today, Mahendra Singh Dhoni decided to actually bat first, and India made some changes. India dropped Shikhar Dhawan, and Shikhar Dhawan was replaced by Ambati Rayudu, and Stuart Binney made his one-day international debut yesterday, when he was preferred in place of Suresh Raina. Suresh Raina was not there; he was injured, and Stuart Binney took his place. After that, and as far as New Zealand was concerned, they also came up with two changes. They decided to they lost Corey Anderson, who was a bit injured, so he was out. That was a big blow for them. And Mitchell McClenaghan, who bowled excellently against India, was also kept out, and in came Kyle Mills and James Neesham. And just talking about this match, India were the ones, as I said, with batted first, but it was not a good beginning for India at all. Virat Kohli was the new opener along with Rohit Sharma, and Virat Kohli unfortunately didn't fire at all. He was a very early victim, as he tried to hook a delivery from the bowling of Tim Southee, which was a short delivery, and Neesham taking the catch. He was gone for two, and Ajinkya Rahane also followed him back to the pavilion, when he was actually, once again, the short ball was the one which actually had all the Indian wickets, as Ajinkya Rahane was also got into that short one and tried to hook the ball from Carl Mills, and he hooked it into the hands of Tim Southee. He was a goner for three, and India, after winning the toss, were finding themselves in some trouble at 22 for 2. At 22 for 2, Ambati Rayudu, who got his first game, as you know, on the tour of South Africa, he was a mere spectator. He couldn't get a game, but today he got a game, and what a partnership that was. He joined Rohit Sharma in the middle, and both of them, Ambati Rayudu didn't look like, in the sense he didn't look in any trouble against the New Zealand bowlers, and he was showing some good defense, and he was also dispatching the loose balls to the fence, and he was doing his job in a pretty good manner. Rohit Sharma, initially a bit shaky, he was dropped off the bowling of Southee by Ross Taylor in the slips, and Rohit Sharma finally, once Rohit Sharma was the one, in fact one has to give the credit for Kyle Mills and Tim Southee to bowl a very good initial spell, and really that was the reason that the Indian batsmen were frustrated, because in 3.2 overs the Indian openers had got only 5 runs on the board, and that's what frustrated Virat Kohli in going into a hook shot. After that, Ajinkya Rahane did the same, because they were not able to force the pace. In 8 overs they were 22 for 2. But after that, it was something which was very nicely done by this partnership between Rohit Sharma and Ambati Rayudu for the 3rd wicket, where they took their time. Slowly, they slowly increased the Indian run rate from 2 to 3 to 4, with some very good sixes being hit by Rohit Sharma. Rohit Sharma, as I said, as and when he got an opportunity, he was not afraid to really give the full swing of the bat to the bowlers and send them for sixes. He also Ambati Rayudu was playing the spinners very well. In fact, he was using his feet against the spinners and banging them for sixes. And both of them, really the partnership started slowly growing, and it was very essential that it had to be done, because it was a repair job which was done by Rayudu and Rohit Sharma, and they had taken the score to past the 100 mark. And they were at the halfway stage. India were 101 for 2, and that was the time Hamish Bennett was brought into the attack. And Hamish Bennett couldn't be much effective in this particular pitch, but again Ambati Rayudu was also a victim of a short delivery. Bennett actually bowled a bouncer to him. Rayudu went for the hook shot. The ball top-edged, got the top edge of the bat and went into the air, and Lew Cronky behind the wickets took the catch. And it was a good innings from Rayudu under the circumstances. He was gone for 37 of 58 balls with 3 fours and 2 sixes, which make it 101 for 3. Mahendra Singh Dhoni came up the order, and he joined Rohit Sharma in the middle. Rohit Sharma and Mahendra Singh Dhoni then started slowly putting together another partnership, but again after Mahendra Singh Dhoni came to the crease, there was some real urgency to the situation. Runs were starting to come a bit more quickly, because 41 runs were added in the next 7 overs by Mahendra Singh Dhoni and Rohit Sharma, before Rohit Sharma, after playing a very good hand of 79 of 94 balls with 6 fours and 4 sixes, was a victim of the bowling of the part-timer Kane Williamson, as Rohit Sharma got trying to work the ball on the leg side, got the edge of the bat, and Lew Cronky behind the stumps took the catch, and that was a big wicket. And what was good was that Rohit Sharma in this particular series has not got a 50 under his belt, and it was good to see Rohit Sharma after a long time, after probably 8 innings, getting a 50 under his belt, and that would do him a lot of good. So Rohit Sharma looked pretty confident. His strokes were superb, and as I said, he was not afraid to actually go down the wicket and really hit the bowlers. So that and this was a very important part. It was very essential for Rohit Sharma to stay there. So he made 79 very impressive runs, and India, when Rohit Sharma's wicket was gone in the 33rd over, it was 142 for 4. Ashwin came ahead of Ashwin was promoted ahead of Stuart Binney. He was making his debut, and Ravichandran Ashwin, well, he holed out. He didn't last much. He was caught by Bennett of the bowling of Saudi for 5, and India were 151 for 5 in the 34th over. So that was the time the hero of the tied third one-day international, Ravindra Jadeja, entered the scene and joined his captain Dhoni. And after that, this partnership was really something. From 151 for 5, where again things looked shaky for India after the recovery phase was done by Rayudu and Rohit Sharma. At 151 for 5, again things were looking a bit bleak. But Mahendra Singh Dhoni and Ravindra Jadeja played beautifully. In fact, Jadeja was the one who was very, very impressive. Just as you can see what confidence can do to a batsman when one gets. He got 60 the other day in the third one-day international, and today. He was there. He was absolutely so confident of playing his strokes that he was not afraid at all, in the sense he was flailing the ball outside the off stump to the fence, whoever the bowler was, whether it was Hamish Bennett or James Neesham, or it could be anybody. He was having so much of confidence. He was also getting the ball. He was also lofting the ball very well, and he was really picking the gaps. And what was good about Ravindra Jadeja's innings was his timing was absolutely superb, so that really enabled Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Mahendra Singh Dhoni definitely couldn't really force the pace. I mean, to what extent? But whatever strokes he really played, that was hit with tremendous force. And one of the strokes that he hit was a boundary. It went like a tracer bullet, and James Neesham had to really duck in so that if that ball would have hit James Neesham, I'm sure his head would have been blown off. Such was the power of the stroke that Dhoni generated there. But in the end, what it did is 151 for 5. India completely with Dhoni and Jadeja putting on a very huge partnership, an unbeaten runs partnership at that, of 127 runs to take India to a score of 278 for 5 of their 50 overs, with Dhoni's contribution, an unbeaten 79 of 73 deliveries with 6 fours and 3 sixes. Jadeja contributing an unbeaten 62 of 54 balls, 8 fours and 2 sixes. And India sat on a pretty score, I would say. It was a very decent score on 278 for 5, especially considering that there was some turn available in the pitch. Let's look at the bowling. As far as the bowling was concerned, Kyle Mills was absolutely on the money. Bowled splendidly, 10 overs, 2 minutes, 1 for 42, was admirably supported by Tim Southee, who bowled an excellent line and then 10 overs, 1 minute, 2 for 36. The Hamish Bennett was the one who went for some tap, 9 overs, 1 for 67 for him. James Neesham, 8 overs, cost him 59 runs. Nathan McCullum, 10 overs for 44, bowled well in patches, and Kane Williamson bowled 3 overs, no maiden, 1 for 26. As far as, and it was very sad to see Stuart Binney never getting a chance to bat in this particular one-day international, even though he made his one-day international debut. Now, as far as New Zealand were concerned, looking at the game when the score was 278, one would have expected, as the commentators were all telling, that there was some turn available on the pitch, and probably one would find it difficult to play Jadeja and Ashwin, and that was the case, no doubt about that. But look at what New Zealand did. In fact, one has to really commend New Zealand for putting up such a display and winning the fourth one-day international and the series. Fourth international by 7 wickets and the series. The reason being, even though there was some turn and Ravindra Jadeja and Ashwin did a good job, but what the batsmen did is they took advantage of the seamers and saw to it that New Zealand won the match, and that was the precise thing. Because if you look at the bowling figures of Ravindra Jadeja and Ashwin, who bowled 20 overs between them, got 2 maidens, and they gave away 74 runs and they took no wicket. In 20 overs, 74 runs, which is a pretty good job by the Indian spinners, especially considering that the pitch was aiding the spinners in some way or the other. But as far as New Zealand were concerned, well, Martin Guptill and Jesse Ryder started, but Jesse Ryder once again has not put any good score of note, even though he has not gone on to play any big innings, and once again that was the case today, as Jesse Ryder was clean bowled by Varun Arun for 19 of 18 balls with 4 fours. After that, Guptill followed him to the pavilion when he was LBW to a inducker from Mohammad Shami. He was gone. LBW bowled Mohammad Shami for 35, 27 balls, 6 fours and 1 6. And then Kane Williamson and Ross Taylor, who have always done it for New Zealand in this particular one-day series, they have been pretty consistent with their knocks here. And once again it proved, with Kane Williamson registering his 4th consecutive one-day international half-century. And that was the time, as I said, Kane Williamson and Ross Taylor were the ones who were responsible, because they are the ones who are the best players of spin bowling. And when Ravichandran Ashwin and Ravindra Jadeja were on target and were bowling in tandem, that was the time, and this was the partnership that enabled, even though New Zealand found themselves in trouble at 58 for 2, it was very essential that they had the best players of spin bowling there. And for New Zealand it proved to be that both the players who were the best players of spin bowling were there at the crease, in the form of Kane Williamson and Ross Taylor. And what they did is they really played the spinners very well. They negated the turn, and finally they turned their attention towards the seamers and saw to it that they could get these runs and get a victory for New Zealand. And that's what they precisely did. From 58 for 2, this partnership really blossomed and really set up the platform for a New Zealand win, as they put on 130 runs for the 3rd wicket, which occupied probably 26 overs, but that didn't really matter, because Kane Williamson was run out Jadeja for 60 of 82 balls with 2 fours and 2 sixes. But then Ross Taylor this time did something which he did against West Indies in scoring his 9th one-day international century. He was not out on 112 of 127 balls with 15 fours. Wonderful knock from him. And Brendan McCullum thrashed the Indian bowling in the company of Ross Taylor to pick up an unbeaten 49 of 36 balls with 4 fours and 3 sixes. And also for Brendan McCullum, that would have been something which would have been good, because he was also struggling as far as batting was concerned. But right now he did a very good turn for himself in scoring an unbeaten 49 of 36 balls with 4 fours and 3 sixes. And New Zealand winning the match by 7 wickets, as New Zealand finished at 280 for 3. And New Zealand actually winning the series 3-1, but as I said, one more to go, the fifth final one-day international, which should be a formality, which also allows New Zealand to do a lot of experimentation. As far as the bowling was concerned, Bhuvneshwar Kumar 10 overs none for 62 was costly for a change today. Mohammad Shami 8 overs 1 for 61. Varun Arun 6.1 overs no maiden 1 for 51. But as Jadeja has said, the spinners were the ones who did. But for New Zealand, they had the best batsman at the crease to negate the spin. Jadeja 10 overs 2 maidens none for 33 for him, bowled superbly. Ashwin 10 overs none for 41. Stuart Binney on his one-day international debut just bowled a solitary over, 1 over for 8 runs. And Ambati Radu wheeled 3 overs for 23 runs. So the man of the match definitely went to Ross Taylor, and New Zealand lead the 5-match series now 3-0 with 1 to go. Well, so that gives me time to talk about the other match now, which was Sri Lanka versus Bangladesh on the second day's play. As I said, the openers started off at 30 for no loss on the second day, Karunaratne and Kaushal Silva, and they went on to stitch together a 100-run partnership, a century partnership, with Karunaratne the first to go, caught by Rabiul Islam, and Shakib Al Hasan actually picked up his wicket. Caught Rabiul Islam, bowled Shakib Al Hasan for 53 with 6 boundaries. So that was the first wicket to go at 118. After that, it was Kumar Sangakkara came to the crease to join Kaushal Silva. Well, as far as Kaushal Silva is concerned, Kaushal Silva got on to his maiden Test century in another big partnership coming up between, after the 118-run partnership was gone, there was another very big partnership came on, and that was between Kaushal Silva, the opener, and Kumar Sangakkara. But one thing that I would like to say here is that Al Amin Hussain was bowling a very good line. He was was the luckless bowler today. I thought he deserved the wickets. In fact, Kaushal Silva rode his luck. In fact, he was dropped by Mushfiqur Rahim, the Bangladeshi captain, a very easy chance for the bowling Aminul Hussain. And Aminul Hussain was bowling a very good probing line outside the off stump and really testing the batsman. In fact, not only did he test Kaushal Silva, he also tested Kumar Sangakkara. And Kaushal Silva, not only that, after that he was once again dropped by I'm just trying to see who was the other catcher who actually dropped him. So there was one more catch dropped of him. So probably there were 2 to 3 catches which were dropped of the bowling of Kaushal Silva. And Kaushal Silva definitely rode his luck in that partnership with Kumar Sangakkara. And the partnership really grew in great proportion to take the score to 273 before Kumar Sangakkara was the first victim, and Al Amin Hussain definitely deserved that because he had beaten Sangakkara a couple of times. He had kept Sangakkara guessing, and Al Amin Hussain got the wicket of Sangakkara as he was gone for 75 with 9 boundaries. After that, Kaushal Silva, after making his maiden Test century with 139 runs with 16 fours, he used his feet very well against the spinners by lofting them for sixes. With 16 fours and 2 sixes was a goner, as Shakib Al Hasan had him LBW for 139. So that made it 302 for 5. And then for Sri Lanka, every batsman contributed their might there. Mahela Jayawardene contributed an unbeaten 42 at stumps with 5 fours and 1 6. He had a night, but after that, Dinesh Chandimal, well, he used his feet very well against the spinners. In fact, he really started going after the spinners and hitting them for 4s and 6s. He contributed 40 runs of 51 balls with 2 4s and 2 6s. Suranga Lakmal was sent ahead of Angelo Matthews as a night watchman, but that ploy definitely misfired as Sohail Ghazi got his wicket for a blob, and that left Mahela Jayawardene at close of play on the second day of the first Test match between Sri Lanka and Bangladesh at an unbeaten 42 with 5 4s and 1 6. And tomorrow it will be Angelo Matthews, the Sri Lankan captain, who is the person in absolute form, joining Mahela Jayawardene. And for Bangladesh, The second new ball has also been taken. It was taken after tea time, but for Bangladesh, I think it is going to be a hard grind unless and until they can pick up some wickets, because this is a very crucial pair of very important pair and a very powerful pair tomorrow, when Mahela Jayawardene and Angelo Matthews will be taking strike against the Bangladeshi bowlers on the third day. 375 for 5 was the final score for Sri Lanka. So that was 143 run lead going into the third day's play. And Bangladesh bowlers have to do something quickly, otherwise it is going to be too late for them, because the lead has started swelling now. As I said, Al-Amin Hussain for me was the pick of the bowlers, a luckless bowler, bowled a beautiful line outside the off stump, probed the batsman's weaknesses a couple of times, many a time, but very unluckily he was the luckless bowler, as 2 or 3 catches were dropped off him, and he finished with a very, very good bowling figures, 25 overs, 2 maidens, 87 runs and 1 wicket. I really felt sorry for Al-Amin Hussain. 14 overs, 1 maiden, none for 43 for Rubail Hussain. 17 overs was very costly for 74 runs. Sohail Ghazi 16.2 overs, 3 maidens, 44 runs and 1 wicket. Shakib Al Hasan was the best bowler on show on the second day, 16.2 overs, 3 maidens, 44 runs and 1 wicket. And it was 27 overs, 4 maidens, 94 runs and 3 wickets. 6 overs for 20 runs for Mominul Haq, and Nasir Hussain 3 overs, no maiden, none for 5. Well, dear fans and subscribers, due to paucity of time, I couldn't really talk in great details about the Sri Lanka-Bangladesh match, but I said the feature was Kaushal Silva's maiden test century. Well, and also one more thing that is coming up. One thing that I would like to say here is that the 2015 World Cup qualifiers, which are being played in New Zealand, the news that is coming in is that there are 2 teams which are, as you know, there are two more spots to be decided for the 2015 World Cup in Australia and New Zealand, and that is a close affair which is going on between Scotland and United Arab Emirates. Now, United Arab Emirates just need one more win. Probably, I think they have to beat Namibia. If they meet Namibia, the United Arab Emirates will be booking their ticket to the 2015 World Cup in Australia and New Zealand. Scotland is the other one who are also vying for that honor. So good luck to both of them. And the other T20 series between England and Australia is about to start. Well, that's it from me, your host Ram, for the Cricket Show for today. See you all tomorrow. Until then, it's goodbye. Thank you.